KSW returns to Dublin on the 22nd of October, and the rematch has been announced. Matthias Gamrot against Norman Parke in the 3 Arena. Joining me now, challenger for that lightweight title is Mr. Norman Parke. Norman, welcome back on the show. Always a pleasure, man. How are things?
I'm good, mate. Thank you very much. It's nice to be back on with you.
Definitely, as always. We're just talking off air there a little bit, Norman. You've got the rematch now. Just talk to me about the feelings. Obviously, I said to you there, I had the fight scored in your favour in Poland, the KSW Coliseum. There was the biting incident. Everything as a whole, how did you assess that?
We knew in the fight that there could have been a possibility of the fourth round if they. But you know how it is fighting the homeboy, and he was getting tired. He was fading, so they had to give him it. They couldn't let him go into another round because they knew the game would have been over after that round. I feel like I could have finished him in that fourth round if that's what it would have been. But once they says the decision's done, then I knew they gave it to him. But I don't know what it is with me in close fights, but it always seems to happen. But now we got the 5-round rematch, it's I'm hoping he's got his conditioning up on point, because it's going to be a tough 25 minutes in there with me pressuring in the whole fight.
Definitely 5 rounds as well. We learned that news this week. That's a big plus for you, as you said there. Are you happy it's 5 rounds? Yeah.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I felt good in the last fight. I know when I fought Paul that time, I was like very, very tired in the third round. Very, very tired. So Paul had a real good round that time. I thought, right, I need to get my conditioning on point for this fight. I want to be able to pressure him in the first, second, and third round. And so I felt there was no pressure in that fight. I came forward straight from the start. I never landed as much as I think I could have done, But he was tricky. He was a very, very awkward opponent to fight. It was like switching stances, moving orthodox back to southpaw again, and it was just awkward to fight. It was like more like annoying shots, than anything. But this time I'm just going to walk him down, and just because I know he can't hurt me. He can't hurt me at all. He hit me a good head kick, and that was the best shot I think he had of the whole fight. And then in the third round, I hurt him. I wobbled him in the third round, and there he was on his bike running away. But I need to go out there and prove it, and then finish it before the time's done. That's what I want. I want to finish the fight in the 4th or 5th round this time.
Were you frustrated? Nothing seemed to have been really said about the biting incident as well, because if you look at the scorecards, how close it was, if there was a point deducted for the bite, it would have been a draw at least, and you would have went to that extra round. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, he knows himself. I said enough about the whole biting incident. I said before, we had even John McCarthy talking about it after the fight on a Sunday. They talked about it, saying, "What do you think of this incident?" And he even said himself, "If I can't fight on, then it's a disqualification, or else 2 points taken away." Yeah. But I understand that the referee maybe never seen the bite, but the evidence was there. I screamed at him, "Look, the purple teeth mark was there, and the blood was trickling out of the finger." I was like, "What more do you want?" And he's seen it, man. He's seen it in his reaction. Yeah. He did not. Matthias did not say, "Oh, you fish hooked me." He did not do that. He wasn't even giving that impression. He was just like, "Oh, whatever happened." But after the fight, he says, "I fish hooked him." That's a load of bullshit. He's a shit talking cunt. That's what he is. That's what I say. He's a shit talking cunt. He's not even a champion in my eyes. I think he's fake, to be honest. He's not even a real champion. So I'll make him pay for that when he comes back to fight me here.
You mentioned it there. Do you think the whole incident there as well, has that given you the motivation? You've questioned your motivation. Coming into this fight the last time, you'd mentioned retirement. Is this the real sort of edge you need, you feel?
Of course, for sure. I just knew it. Like people didn't really know the fighter. They just see you fighting and stuff like that. They don't know what goes on behind the scenes and stuff. They don't know if you're mentally prepared or physically prepared. They see none of this shit. They just sit and judge you on the fight. But I said all along when I went to fight this lad, I'm going to just keep going forward and pressure him, because I knew for a fact that I had the skills to beat him. I knew I was physically stronger than him. I was bigger opponent than him. My conditioning was good, and he knows, like, deep down, whenever he goes away at night time, he knows fuck, I think I lost this fight. And then he thinks to himself, oh, I cheated, I had to bite him to get top position. He knows this in his own mind, so I'm already one up on him. And whenever he comes here to feel the pressure fighting here in front of my fans, then let's see how he deals with that.
Yeah.
And he did talk about the last time I finished, the opponent was like 1 minute. Some guy on Cage Warriors, he faced Tim Newman, I think his name was. He beat Tim Newman pretty quick, and I says, here, that's Tim Newman, man. I says, that's not me. It's not like you've never faced me before. You've already fought me, so come ahead and try and finish me. I think I got more capability to finish you by beating you over 3 or 4 rounds, then finishing you in the 4th or 5th round. That's my style. My style is not to go out there and knock. People want to see that big flashy knockout from it because they see other people doing it. They think that, this guy should be able to do it. That's all people see, but the real hardcore fans know what's up. My style is I grind, and I'll wear him down and finish him. That's the way I can see the fight playing out.
Yeah, I definitely think the 5 round suits you as well. How's the little man going there, Norman, as well? Fatherhood must be
he's good.
He's cool thing these days.
He's just finished his food here, so he's just playing about as usual.
Good stuff.
He's quiet enough. He's not like shouting and going crazy. So luckily enough, you don't hear that echoing in the background.
Norman, you mentioned pulling the trigger was an issue. Obviously, we know your style. You like to grind, make the fight gritty, but your boxing is exceptional as well. We mentioned the John Tuck fight. Was one that stood out for me in your UFC tenure. Do you feel as though maybe you need to get away from that, away from the scorecards in order to maybe get a result?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's more. I feel since they announced the 5 round, I feel like a bit. I shouldn't even be thinking like it. I feel a bit more safer in a way that I know I got a bit more time to put him away. So, and I know in my style, if I can stay on him and like when it goes deep into the trenches, like your mind goes into a different place when you're in a fight, like really into a deep war. I think that I can. It's going to take a lot to break me. I'm telling you, a lot to break me. It's very hard.
As we say that, the little man pipes up. He's grand. He's grand.
You can punch, do everything. You get hurt me, you rock me. I'm not going to quit. That's one thing. I'll never give up position and just say, okay, right, I'm tired. Choke me out and get me out there. That's never going to happen. So you know that for a fact. I'm going to be there the whole time. But I want to look good when I'm fighting. So if it's forced into being a war, a gritty fight, then so be it. I don't mind that. You just got to do what you're best at.
Definitely.
But I want to go in there and just completely bust him up on the feet. That's what my plan is, to bust him up on the feet and stuff his takedown and then just break him, basically.
Yeah, definitely. What's the contract situation now, Norman? You were with Bama for a while. It was a 2-fight deal. Has that expired now, that contract? Was it on a time scale?
No, still another fight for Bama. We're going to fight that in February, around that time.
Okay.
I was chatting to them, so we're going to work that last fight out in February to clear that situation up. So,
and is this a 1-fight deal?
No, but Bama's been decent, so which is good on them to let me have this fight, which helps a lot, So we'll get that sorted after this one.
Definitely. Is this just a 1-fight deal again?
No, this it's just the fight, If I won the belt, then they say that I can't fight anywhere else. But I've got no. Oh, sorry, we got a crybaby here. 2 seconds.
No worries, you're grand.
2 seconds, mate.
No worries, you're grand.
Come on, you coming? There.
Poor wee man.
He tripped.
Right.
So, just a 1-fight deal, mate, and then they says if I'm their champion, I can't fight anywhere else, but I still got that fight on Bama, so I'll be fighting that fight on Bama when I become the champion. So, and if it's to fight for, I don't know if it's to fight for the Bama title, I'm not too sure if that's what they get planned, but I just want to focus on this fight here and get out of the way, then we can fight that last Bama fight.
Definitely. You also mentioned you might be getting involved in some business ventures. Any updates on that? There's potential talk of you opening a gym with some sponsors.
No, I don't know. No, I'm not playing with that yet, mate. I'm not really going that route yet. I'm just focusing on me fighting. That's it. So I've kind of got that desire back to keep fighting. It's more the motivation thing that kind of fucked me up a bit, that I didn't want to train. I didn't even want to I didn't even want to do anything, to be honest. I was like in a rut, if you know what I mean. After the whole UFC shit, and then I was like, I don't even need to train, I'll just go and fight and just make money. But you shouldn't realise then whenever you're having these tough fights and it's close fights, you're thinking, it can't go like this here. You got to make sure you're putting the time in, and that's it. You know, if you cheat,
you definitely have an edge to you now. I feel anyway, by even talking to you, you
if you
can feel
cheat the
that
game,
edge.
it'll come back and get you. I'm telling you, if you cheat it, you know, and you mess up with the training, it'll definitely come back. And I felt that when I fought Andrew Fisher.
Norman, so what do you see differently about this fight that you can implement against Mateus? Looking back at that first fight,
I took a lot. I definitely took a lot away from the first fight. Probably more. I know I pressured him a lot, but it was more pressure to get a reaction to see what he was up to. But it was so awkward; it was kind of hard to judge what he was up to. But probably this time, pressure more and box him more. You know, I know he's going to look to try and take me down again. I've got that feeling he's going to look to try and take me down again. Like it's his style where he wants to just try and petty patter shots, lure you to come in and then look for a takedown. He's did that with all his opponents before that, but you know he finished the takedown. And then we're going to end up in that whole position, me on top and stuff like that. So I don't think there'll be much difference from him. I hope there is, but I'm not too sure if there will be any difference. But me, I'm just going to like walk forward the whole time and pressure him and look to try and finish the fight.
as we spoke about a little bit earlier, obviously the 5 rounds. Is it a danger maybe, as you said, that you're looking at the 5 rounds now because of the way you fight? Do you have to sort of take that out of your mind?
Oh, for sure, yeah. But well, it's peace of mind. It gives me more time to actually get the job done. But you know, that's whenever, that's whenever you break an opponent. You know, when it gets into the deeper rounds, you see him tiring. You keep the pressure on them, and you can literally feel them break. And that's the type of fights I want. So 3 rounds can't do that so much, but 5 rounds you get more time, and it can happen. So I think it plays right into my hands, this fight. You know, and if I don't get me wrong, I would like to catch him with a nice shot and finish him. I know I hurt him in the 3rd round that fight. I stunned him a couple of times, you know, so I know I can take his best shots. He's not really a powerful puncher, but he's just like, he's awkward, if you know what I mean, like awkward. He like point scores, like touches you and runs away. So I'm just going to plow straight through that and just smash his head, and that's the plan I've got in my head. That's it, straight up. I'm just going to walk him straight down. I know he can't hurt me, and finish the fight. Finish the fight in the 4th round.
Just a couple more, Norman. I do appreciate the time. Martin talked about potentially bringing in some Bama Cage Warriors fighters if he can get a relationship going with the 2 promotions. Anyone in particular that you could see possibly filling the card? That's from obviously this island.
Oh, for sure. There's a whole terrain exciting fighters, up and coming young kids there. There's loads of guys. Like I put forward a few names to them, so I'm hoping they can. I put Reese's name forward. I know they've been talking to Alan Philpott for a wee bit, since that happened, the announcement, and I know there's people tied up in contracts with Bama. Like I'm not too sure how that works out, but if they can, I read the report. If they can benefit off each other, which I think is the best way to do. It brings a whole new audience for Bama across when they get some of their Polish fighters to come across. There's people watching the fight, so I think it's from a business point of view, it's a good idea. But I know the shows are quite close together. There's only 3 weeks apart, so it's a bit iffy that there. But it depends who Bama's got. Who Bama has on the next fight card. If there's some fighters that can't get the fight, then they can put some Irish fight. There's loads of guys, north and south of the border. There's a whole terror. You got the young lad from Davy Patterson's gym. I forget his name. Who finished his lad in the 1st round on Bama? His name is.
It's in the last card. It could be anyone.
Yeah. No, it's the time I fought Paul. It's the time I fought Paul. The young lad had his pro debut. He fights from Davy Patterson's gym. He finished the lad in the 1st round. He's a good, exciting young lad, so maybe they could get him also. And there's Andy Young from our gym. There's
Paul.
Yeah, that's the young lad. Yeah, he's pretty cool to watch. So,
right.
I mean, this is what they want. They want exciting fighters to fill up the card, as you would expect for them to fight some Polish people. And I think that makes sense. So hoping that they can come to some sort of arrangement that they can pass fighters across in the lead up to this fight.
Definitely. Back in the Three Arena as well. You know, you've a great record there. Second home for you from a fighting sense. You must be stoked that it's there. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I knew all along before that they were planning, they were thinking
Yeah.
Belfast there, but I thought, Dublin's more, the Irish fans are more attracted. They come to the shows more. Like up north, like we pull crowds too, but it's different up north. It's kind of more newer up there. But in Ireland, down south, it's more more people know about it. If you know what I mean, more people in general know about it. It's obviously with the whole Conor, his
Yeah. Yeah.
popularity in Dublin and stuff like that. So I think it makes sense to go there. And plus, like I've been in Dublin, I know I'm not from Dublin, but I fought there twice, and when I fought twice, they cheered for me. That they're undoubtedly the best fans in the world for sure. Like they were the two biggest highlights of my career, fighting in Dublin 2 times. The atmosphere was brilliant. So I'm hoping we can get a repeat. Like the Irish fans can support me this time and come to the show, because it's going to be probably just as much Polish fans as there is Irish, if not more Polish, coming to this next fight. So I'll need all the support I can get on my side. So
Is it?
but
Yeah, it's going to be a weird one. It is.
it is true. It's true. Like I don't know what it is. There's something about Polish people. I don't know. I thought the Irish side of things, they're like that. Fully, they're fighters about. And they'll always be there for sure. But when I went to Poland and then I saw them coming, they had that show in London in 2015. I mean, the whole place, there were 75% Polish people in the arena. So. And I'm like, fuck. So it's like a magnet, once they hear there's a fight announced, Polish show, KSW, whoom, they just go straight away. So I'm hoping the Irish can come and do that for me and support me, because you got the Irish fans against the Polish fans, and there's they come and support their fighters, Irish come and support their fighters. So it'll be a good clash. Fans come together. So I think it's interesting, but I know for a fact there'll be a lot of Polish fans there. So.
Definitely.
I'm hoping the Irish can step up to the plate and come and show their support for me.
Yeah, definitely. KSW is like, it's bigger than the UFC in Poland, and there's a large community here. So I think that's the big thing. But hopefully, as you said, there'll be some more guys from this island announced on the card, and that'll obviously attract more of a crowd. So I'm sure it'll be 50-50, or it's going to be a hell of an atmosphere anyway in the arena on the 22nd of October. Right, last one for you. Any final words for Marius Gamrot ahead of this fight, Norman?
Well, mate, I just hope you come prepared. I hope you got that cardio on point, because this is not a 3-round fight. One more round and you were done in that last fight. So I'm hoping I'm facing the best he's ever been, because a lot of excuses after the last fight that he wasn't prepared properly, blah, 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 blah. But fair enough. I hope you're prepared. This is a second chance. You get the fight. So, and it's 5 rounds. So I'll be prepared to go into the trenches, no problem. So I hope he's prepared to go in there. Yeah. And he can bring that little girlfriend of his to translate. I forget his name. It's like Boris Manomsky or something. Every time we were in Poland, he was like a wee leech. He was stuck to him like glue. And I was thinking, fuck me, man. Jeez, that lad might as well just be your girlfriend. It's like, why don't you just hold hands? He had his belt, holding his belt. He was translating for him. He was like always in the center of attention, worming his way in. So I hope he can bring him across too, because I'd love to get a good dig at him also. That smirky face he's got, so I don't like that lad. So, if everything goes to plan, that when I get past Gamrot this fight, I would not hesitate to go and fight him. Not one chance. He's fought at lightweight before and he moved up, and so I can see that happening. I can see something like that happening in the future. So, but the first thing is to smash this dude in Poland or in Dublin. That's my plan, to go and smash him inside the 4 rounds. Get the job done, wear on him, and then get the job done, and then fight his girlfriend. No problem. He can pick up the pieces after. And he's fought at lightweight, and I said to him one time, "You fought at lightweight, mate. Why did you move up? What's wrong?" I says, he goes, "I'm too strong for the lightweight division." I was like, "Oh, I can see that you used to be lightweight, but then all of a sudden, after a year or two, then you're just like, you're like a balloon, So give me some of the magic pills you're taking, no problem. I'll fight you, man. We'll make it a level playing field. I come up and fight you, no problem." I do not care, not one bit. I'll fight him at catchweight or at welterweight. Then I don't have to cut a lot of weight, which is perfect. So, but I'm going to get his little bitch first, then I'm going to come for the girlfriend after.
Norman, it's great to see you. Obviously, clearly with an edge back in your game. Anyway, looking forward to the fight in 22nd of October. I'm sure we'll be in contact before then. I'll have you back on the show before the fight. Appreciate the time as always, my friend.
Thank you very much, buddy. Speak to you soon.